Hey everybody, Rob here from Smirking Gun Reviews. How y'all doing out there? Today we're going to be talking about Raya and the Last Dragon, the Disney movie that just released here and on Disney Plus. If you want to spend that kind of money, uh, you can. I found it much cheaper to just go to the theater. I had an AMC Stubbs, A-list thing that I forgot to cancel. And so I'm like, well, I paid for it. Might as well go see a movie. Circumstances on this uh, suddenly better weather in Illinois kind of drove me out of my house. That and there was a lot of noise in my home on my day off. And so I was like, screw it. What's at the theater? And honestly, nothing really out there has been begging me to go to the theater. There's no real reason for me, really, as I look around here, what the offerings are here in Illinois right now in my area. And I saw Raya and the Last Dragon. And I watched Chris Stuckman's review of it. And it was a good enough review to get me out. And since I wasn't going to pay for the ticket anyway, get out and go see this movie. And then I had no intention of reviewing it. It was mostly I need a couple of hours outside of the house. And, thankfully there wasn't a lot of people in the theater. Again, mostly probably because people can watch it at home. If you're part of a big family, the price of the ticket at home is probably worth it. I think it's like $30. But if you've got like 3, 4 kids, you, your wife, whoever, yeah, it's worth it. If you're by yourself, no, it's not. But we're going to be talking about this movie. No spoilers, really. And anything that you've already gleaned from the trailer or looked up synopsises for. And the reason I'm doing this review mostly is because like I was thinking about what do you add? What do you add to what everybody said? Like what can you add to a movie like this? Because most of it, it's like, well, the animation. The animation is great. The voice acting is great. The action is great. The fact that there is no singing in it was a double two thumbs up for me. All right, I don't like musicals for the most part. For the most part, I like funny musicals, and by funny I mean literally laugh out loud funny, like Little Shop of Horrors and things like that. But when I heard that there was no music, just a score and an actual story where people aren't singing me the plot, I was like, awesome, 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 awesome. And, there's been a lot of, with How You Train Your Dragon and other things, dragons are kind of been around a lot lately. So I didn't really have that high of hopes for this movie. But it was a lot of fun. It was. It was a breath of fresh air to not have, like I said, the singing. But I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was a nice return for me to form for Disney type movies that had fun characters and in a plot that really grabs you. But so if you don't know the story, it's about Raya. It's really about this whole world, right? This kind of even begins to do the old cliche of yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go again, another dystopian world. I mean, literally, they call it out. But how there was this thing called the Druid, the Drew, and it was taking over the world, and the dragons, one dragon in particular, saved everybody, and except the other dragons went to stone. This dragon disappeared, and there was a dragon gem left, and of course, being people, we fought over it instead of coming together. And over the course of the movie, everybody's trying to get a piece of this, get their hands on this dragon gem for power control, all the things that usually happen in these kind of movies. And it breaks and then becomes a journey years later to put the pieces back together and stop the return of the thing that was, killed everybody in the first place or, turned everybody to stone. And how Raya, finds the dragon and goes on this journey and meets a bunch of people along the way to save their world. Pretty simple on the surface, right? But the thing that I wanted to talk about is the thing that I don't hear other reviewers talking about. And that's mostly probably because they don't want to try to divide their audience. You know, they want to just keep it simple. They want to get as many views as possible and you know, make it so that anybody who watches their review won't get offended by having a personal opinion about the message that's in the movie. Well, I say, you know, I don't make videos for kids, so fuck that. I'm going to talk about the message in the movie because it's important. And if you noticed, like if you watch my channel regularly, I've been putting fake ads in front of my stuff. And I almost did it here. I had an idea for one. But as I was watching this movie, I'm like, you're not putting that in there because this movie's teaching you, you know, and made me feel bad for even considering putting this ad in there. I was going to make an ad about Idaho. Yeah, if you know where I'm going with this, I'll just leave it at that. Because the message in this movie and why I put a dream for today and tomorrow on the thumbnail is that the world right now is that they're talking about in the movie is similar to ours. There was a disease that shook the whole world and they finally got a hold on it. And in the end, instead of coming together, they fell apart even worse. And how years later, everybody is even more divided than ever, more suspicious of each other, more hateful for each other. And there's this one area that's still trying to hold on, and not even like a whole area. I mean, Raya's dad is the face of the hopefulness of this world. I believe he's voiced by Daniel Day Kim, which I thought was pretty cool. And how everybody else is just tearing each other apart. And I thought that this is a good time for this kind of movie. And why I stopped myself from putting that kind of mean ad out there about Idaho. Because, like a lot of you out there, I'm pretty fucking pissed. I'm pretty angry at a lot of people. Like a lot of people. I know we're all pretty angry, and the people that don't agree with me and wondering, you know, like, you know, that aren't my side of things, aren't my political views, those kind of things, they're mad at me. And how everybody keeps talking about coming together. We all need to come together when we are not coming together. But this movie is trying to talk to the kids, because let's face it, a lot of the adults are too far gone. Okay, it's a nice little hope that people tell us that we're going to all just suddenly start singing Kumbaya. We're going to suddenly go, oh my God, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. All these things. But for the children who might have parents who want to teach them hate and intolerance and bigotry and make themselves isolationists and that it's only for you, this world is only for you, maybe some of these kids will like this movie and learn from that and grab onto that dream and the hope that this movie gives. Because throughout this movie, there is that fight, that struggle to trust, to you know, approach enemies with trust and hope rather than anger and hate. And the characters really struggle with this to the points that are some real consequences to continuing this hatred. And so, you know, you have kids watching this. It is a great message for, like I said, those who might be taught by hateful people who maybe can overcome that hate, and the people that we need now, the ones that are in hopeful families, the ones that are trying to do the right thing in our world, to be able to make sure that those kids that are already hopeful and happy and willing to work with others, we need more of them, because the side that's not is going to be pushing their children the opposite way hard. And so it's even more important for those kids out there that don't have that kind of encouragement and are being pushed to only believe a certain thing or a certain belief system or certain religions or whatever, political views. and not think for themselves, to only to toe the family or the religious or the political line, instead of being open to hearing what your, enemies are. I mean, we use the word enemies in this country about each other. And this movie has that way of hopefully reaching some people. It's a big dream. It's a real, I'm realistic. But we don't have enough movies for kids that have this kind of hopeful message. And as naive as it might be to believe in this, that kind of naivete is necessary in our world. Because it only takes one person to, understand this and get the message here, that if it changes their life for the better, then they can maybe change other people's lives. Because as corny as it sounds, the children are the future. And the more we can start pushing out this hate, then, someday, somewhere down the line, maybe we can start becoming a better people. Because I mean, I'm the cynic, and I'm trying to be hopeful, because in my opinion, this ain't gonna end until there's blood in the streets. And that's kind of a crazy to put this in a review. But like I said, I don't make reviews for kids, so and I have to push a button all the time to say in my YouTube account, this video is not made for kids. This is for you adults or young adults or whoever that, want to know more about this kind of thing. Because there's no white faces in this movie, and I was fine with it. Because it doesn't matter. If the story is good, if it's written well, if it's entertaining, then you've done your job. And this movie doesn't just entertain, it educates without hitting you over the head, and it still gives you all the animals and the cute stuff and the fun action and the sweeping epic cinematics. So, Raya and the Last Dragon get 2 thumbs up. A minus, I guess, would be my grade. 4.5 out of 5 if we want to do a number score to it all. Otherwise, if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. And I haven't said this in a while, but be kind to each other out there, and have a great day.